Good afternoon, viewers. This is TASNIM Hussain, and today we are going to start our third episode of MUN Hands, organized by House of Youth Dialogue. House of Youth Dialogue is an international charity organization with its local chapters present in 6 countries, namely Bangladesh, Nepal, India, Australia, Canada, and its headquarters is in the United Kingdom with its operation office running from the office in Bangladesh. SDG HYD has always come up with revolutionary ideas for MUNs. It has hosted SDGMUN international chain conferences in partnership with UNDP goals at South Asian countries, currently Bangladesh, Nepal, and India. It has founded the concept of the world's first ever fiction-based MUN, where even a fourth grade student can participate, which enhanced the MUN circuit for junior participators. And now, in this COVID-19 pandemic, HYD has come up with a very different and unique idea of a charity model United Nations. HYD plans on raising a fund from MUN from Model United Nations organized online in Bangladesh, Nepal, and coming in India, and to distribute these funds to the ones who are needy. Today we have another episode of MUN Hacks Live, and we have a very renowned guest from Nepal. Sir Adarsh Dev sir is here with us today. Adarsh Dev sir is a proud SDG MUN Nepal and alumnus. He is the director of HYD Nepal, one of the most prominent chairs in Nepal MUN circuit, having around 30 chairing experiences. He started his MUN journey from HYD MUN organized in Nepal called the SDGMUN Nepal 2016. Others, sir, welcoming you here. So you have the floor.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tasnia. Hello, how are you? And hello
Sir,
to
I'm
all the
good. How are
viewers
you?
as well. I'm good. I'm all good.
Yes, sir. Sir, we would like to hear from you about as to how do you view MUNs in general, and how do you think that it shapes students into delegates?
Okay. So again, hello everyone. My name is Adarsh. So basically, talking about MUN, it has been an emotional journey for last 4 years. I've been doing MUN for 4 years now, and the first definition, if anyone would define MUN, they would define it as academic simulation of United Nations. But then when I went on doing MUNs, so what I felt is we do what other people do in United Nations. So just being in your country, being in one commit, being in one room, you are actually planning and deciding the future of your country and the entire world. So MUN develops you as a global change maker. So this is one of the best thing that MUN does. There is a difference between a simple participant in a MUN and a delegate in a MUN. So simple participant is someone who has participated in the conference. So it is before he is going into the conference. Now when he becomes the delegate, it is one of the big term. Delegate basically means you are representing one entire country. You are not only representing one entire country, you are pride of that particular country. So your every each and actions defines future of that particular country in that particular committee. So you have a big responsibility. Delegates is very responsible person in a very responsible body in MUNs. In my personal opinion, delegates are more important than organizing committee and executive board members. They are the pride of your conference as an organizer. They are the one who will be debating for you. They are the one who will be bringing changes, who will be bringing solutions for you. So yeah, it's very important to convert yourself from participation to a delegate in when you are taking when you are participating in conference. Now when I would see MUN in general, I always motivate each and everyone to do MUNs. If possible, I would want my father and mother to do MUNs as well, so we can plan about it in future. Why not? So MUN actually brings lots of change in your life. The way you think life is, the way you think world is, your perception is completely changed. I mean, the first difference that I can give is you have been seeing something from one particular perspective, from your personal opinions. Now, when you participate in MUN, you start looking every single part of that particular thing. So you will start thinking it as a country, as a matter of interest of the entire people of your country, your allies, and this is how you see the problem as. So MUN converts everyone into global citizen, and which is something very good about MUN. And not only academic simulation, it has got many fun elements. So in committee sessions, you debate, your energy is hyped to a different level. Again, when in during social sessions, you just calm down, you just chill around. So it is blend, it is mixture of entertainment as well as some serious stuff that happens in the committee sessions. So yeah, MUN is fun, and that is why we continuously do MUNs.
Sir, you being a very prominent EB member, particularly a chairperson in the Nepali circuit, how do you think MUN has shaped you
Yeah.
as the person you are, or how has MUN contributed to develop the skills you have now to develop you as such an experienced and such a skilled executive board member and as a person?
Okay. Thank you so much. A very good question that I always want to talk about. So when I used to be delegates in my times, 3 years back, I always wanted first to win award, and right after winning award, I started feeling when will I be in the place where my executive board members were. So there is this story. STGM in 2016 was my third MUN, and I got my first MUN award in that particular conference. And then SDGM in 2017 is the conference that I did executive board member for the first time. So when I knew they are over here, so I called them. I contacted Hamim Bhai, and then I asked him about what are criteria to be executive board members. And then he said, you need to do many MUNs, at least 20, 15 MUNs. You need to be experienced. And then I just had done around 12 to 13 MUNs at that time. So I said, okay, I don't think I fall under the criteria. However, I'm very interested to participate in the conference. So he called me, and then when he see me working for STGM in 2017, he promoted to me to be executive board member in that particular conference. So basically, uh, being executive board member is fun. I mean, uh, one of the important skills that develop as an executive board member is you can influence people around you. So influence people means basically you can influence delegates. There used to be time when I used to feel I want to be at the place where secretary general, the conference I used to be in, the secretary general of the conference that I used to be in, I wanted to be in the place of secretary general, in the place of executive board member. I wanted to feel when I was in that place, when I was in that place, I wanted to feel very. But then when I became executive board member, there are so many of delegates who want to be like me. So it is one of the responsibility. I mean, you need to be good character so that if people copy you, if people want to be like you, they convert themselves to something better version of themselves, or to something better person. So there are lots of skills needed to be executive board member. First of all, you need to have proper knowledge about MUN. You should have done many MUNs. I mean, not only few, but then after doing everything that happens in MUN, when you have started understanding how to play with your country policy, how to debate, and the most important skills that need to be an executive board member is judging skills. You need to understand how to judge delegates on the basis of their performance. So right after that, I became executive board member in the STGM in 2017 conference. And then again, I never felt I am all up for it. I never felt I am completely perfect for it. So as time went on, I converted myself into a better person of myself. Firstly, I used to be director, then promoted to vice chair, then promoted to chair, and then now I've been doing MUNs as a chair. There have been few delegates who were my delegate and are now standing just uh, in the right or left side of me as my director and vice chair, which makes me feel so proud. So as an executive board member, people delegates look up to you. It is your responsibility to show yourself very good, so that even if they copy you, you are at they are at something better position. So basically you develop influencing skills, people start following you, and that actually motivates you to be a better version of yourself in every next conference. So this is how MUN shapes you as a proper chairperson. You learn from every single experiences, so every single MUN, even online MUN, is as equally as important to grow yourself as proper executive board members. And yeah, so
Sir, it's amazing how MUNs have shaped you to be a chairperson or an executive board member. But there are skills that MUN teaches you, like networking, diplomacy, as you already said, influencing. So how have these skills helped you, not just in the MUN circuit or as an organizer, as an executive board member, but in your life and in other aspects of your life?
exactly. So yeah, uh, before doing MUN, I was good at my school. I was very limited to inside my school. I was not introvert, but then I used to speak to the people I was familiar with. So after I'm doing MUNs, I actually learned to speak to people with whom I don't know, to speak to them to whom I don't know. So as you said, networking skills. You are there in Bangladesh. I am here in Nepal. So we are connected just because of one particular thing, which is MUN. So basically, you have lots of friends who are from other countries, which would not have been possible if you would not do MUN. So I'm always thankful to MUNs. I mean, I have large circuit now. So not only MUNs now, if I plan of doing something different like organizational activity or other competitions, if I try to organize some other competitions, what happens is I can use those particular resources. So, for example, I now have lots of friends in Bangladesh. So, if I want to come Bangladesh for a vacation purpose, I will not be completely new over there. I mean, there will be so many of people who I have already known, virtually or in real during MUN conferences. So, this is one thing that MUN develops. You know many other persons. You develop your social skills as you increase your social reach. Now, how it applies to your daily life is, see, so from grade 1 to grade 10, I was in school. Every students who were familiar, I was always with them, so it was very easy for me to speak to them. But then now, right after school, I need to get admitted to college 11 and 12. So this is something a tough task for many of people, to cope up with new environment, to go and talk to new teachers, to go and talk to new friends. Even making friend is not as easy as we feel. I mean, it is easy for people like us, but then the one who are introverts, the one who enjoys staying at home, it's, I mean, a very tough task to them. So in, like in MUNs, you see, you go over there, don't do anything, just sit at one corner, itself come to you and ask to you, who are you, where are you from. They will itself try to be your friend. So after those few incident, you start making friends, you start going to a person, you start talking to them. So these are few skills that you develop doing MUNs. Right after, I mean, in a very slow manner, you develop these particular skills which applies in daily life. You can speak to stranger. You learn to speak to stranger. I mean, how to speak to them, how to start initiate communication, how to cope up in a new environment, how to not feel alone, how to go and speak up to anyone you wish to. So these are the skills that MUN brings. Obviously, public speaking, confidence, these are few things that obviously helps you to bring up. So again, coming back to my experience, when I was doing my first MUN, I was not able to speak properly because everyone were new around me. I was school's best speaker. However, doing external conference, it was very tough task to me because every face were new. But then after doing few MUNs, now what I feel is I can speak in front of any sorts of crowd, any number of people. I can speak in front of 500 people. I can speak in front of 5,000 people. Even if those 5,000 people are my senior in terms of education, in terms of age, or in terms of intellectuality, I now have that particular confidence that I have developed throughout the time. So right right now I am planning to study abroad. Uh, my parents are too worried. I mean, how I would settle down in a new environment. But then I'm confident because I know confident. I mean, because I know how I will talk to the people over there, how I can settle myself in a new environment. So these sorts of skills are very important in daily life. These are the things that you develop doing MUNs in a daily life.
Understood, sir. It's amazing how far you have gone in MUNs, and as the director of HYD MUN in Nepal. Sir, how do you think that MUNs help you as an ECA when you are just in the beginning phase of MUNs? Like if I start doing MUNs and uh, I don't know anything about MUNs, how would you advise me, or how would you uh, suggest me to go forward, and what are the tips, or as we are calling it here, hacks? What are the hacks that you would like to suggest us, or me as a first timer?
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, to understand MUN, firstly, you should do MUN. I mean, having done these many MUNs, my parents still don't know what MUN looks like. So, I think, I mean, I am not able to completely convince them of how good MUN is. So, however, if someone would ask me why to do MUN and how to initiate doing MUN conferences, I would say if you want to change yourself in a wide perspective as a person, as a debater, as a speaker, as a change maker, you can start doing MUNs. If you are extrovert, or if you want to convert yourself from introvert to extrovert, you can start by doing MUN. And yeah, so you can motivate themselves in that particular way, and you can give a surface knowledge about what MUN is. Right after they do their first conference, they will completely know what MUN is. And I mean, once you start doing MUNs, there is nothing like going back, because you enjoy every single thing, you go on. Now, as you asked me about college application, I think it plays a great role in college application. I mean,
Go to your browser. Do you know what's browser?
uh,
Yeah.
I, I mean, like, see, so as I said you, I just completed my A levels and I was planning to apply to US universities. I mean, I applied to US universities. So I was very confident about my acceptance in most of the universities, just because I know I have done so many of MUNs. So see, MUN brings overall development in you, in development in every particular perspective, and those sorts of students are the one which colleges and universities, especially abroad universities, like universities from western world, universities of United States of America, universities of United Kingdom, they look for. When they are looking for students, they want the student who are completely developed, students who are overally very good, overally very sound. They want those sorts of student in their country, in their universities. So when doing MUNs, you have grown as a social person. You are very good as socially, you are very good as a leader, you are very good as a public speaker, you are very good as an entertainer, because there are so many entertainment sections in MUN. So MUN is portray of your overall development, and as you are overally developed, it obviously helps you in college application. So there is an important section during college application, ECA section. So in ECA section, you can obviously keep MUNs. So US universities, they very well know what MUN is. In Nepal, there are still some of the colleges, universities which still don't know what MUN is. However, in US, everyone know what MUN is, just because, just see, Harvard University, one of the greatest university of the world, great university of the world, largest university of the world. They have their own conference, Harvard Model United Nations, Harvard National Model United Nations. So this actually shows what important MUN has. MUN is so important that even universities like Harvard University is addressing it, is keeping it as their regular ECA activity. So yeah, since it is globally accepted, globally recognized, it actually helps you during college application. It obviously does. However, I have not been as a college admission counselor or in admission committee, but then if I would see someone doing conference like this MUN, I would obviously give them position, give them a room in my university if I would be a college counselor or in admission committee. And also I would also like to include one thing. When I graduated my school, I mean, we have secondary education examination in Nepal. It happens when you are passing grade 10. So right after grade 10 you shift to a plus 2 college, 11 and 12 college. So I wanted to do A levels, and when I went for a counseling, I had visit directly to a principal and a chairperson. So I explained them about what sub conference I do. So when I said them about something called MUN, when I said them I've been doing this for 2 years, and I've been to Bangladesh, they were actually happy and they offered me very good scholarship in their college. So they offered me very good scholarship. I was only the student who was studying at a very low price. A levels is actually expensive in our country, so I was studying in very low price. And then their way of looking at me was different. I always used to get preferences in college, which is very good thanks to MUN. And then my image in their mind was amazing. They always felt I'm a very good student. I explain I'm a very good student. So yeah, so those it helped me during the application in 11 and 12. It helped me application right now in university as well, and it helped me inside the college as well, because they know I'm a kind of dynamic student who focuses on every single thing. So yeah,
So they can
these
call you an
changes
all-rounder,
really
I think.
helpful. Yeah, exactly.
Uh, I would just like to add something to your point, Adarsh sir, that HYD holds academic partnerships with 70 universities for HYD scholarship management. So I think one point I would really agree with you is that MUNs as an ECA contribute a lot to your college applications, and in case of scholarship as well, you are a living example of that. I would
Yeah.
like to move on to PRATAV KARKI sir now. Pratap Karki sir is a very prominent member in the Nepali MUN circuit. He's a proud SDGMUN Nepal alumnus. Sir was the Secretary General in NAMI MUN. Sir was the Director General in Butwal National MUN 19. He was the Director General in Budhanilkantha MUN 19. Sir is a very prominent member and a very prominent organizer in the Nepali circuit. Pratap sir, welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sir, how would you like to describe MUNs and what do MUNs mean to you?
So, before like going to it, I like to like share you that when like first let me take you back to my past. Like back in 2013, when I was actually I lost one of my friend, like who was my dearest and nearest. And then from that incident, what happened was, then I got into like a lot of problems regarding anxiety, and then also with the stage phobia, mass phobia, and all those. So I think at when I was at grade 8, then there was like something called MUN in my school. When I was actually trying to understand the United Nations, like reading through books in our school, then I got an opportunity about I got an opportunity to go into MUN. So where then the first MUN I did was the SDGMUN. Then right after the SDGMUN, me and my classmate have an idea of organizing a MUN. With one MUN experience, I organized an intra small scale Himalaya boarding school model United Nations for the first time. So from there, like I got so many interests in organizing model United Nations, and from that I started my journey as an organizer. Ma'am, I think your mic is off.
Sorry, sir. My mic was off, sir. Very sorry. We are having a few questions. One of them is Deepu Propai is saying Namaste. Amar Alvi Aladdin is saying HYD is awesome. Nepal is awesome. Bangladesh is awesome. Thank you, sir. We have a question for the both of you. Arunab Chakraborty is saying how to lobby with other delegates in an efficient way. Pratap sir, if you could address this question in a short way. How to lobby with other delegates in an efficient way.
So like what so basically what happens is like moon, when you comes to when you are like as a delegate in a moon, so you got a lot of friends, a lot of peoples around you as a delegate, and you also got a chair. So how to like deal with them is like you first, like what I actually do is like when I'm a delegate, I just sit silent for like for a one day, whole one day I just sit for silent. Then after another day I started debating. Then the flow, then my flow with the debating begins. So what I do is for the first day I just understand the agenda, how the people are there, and then how what kind of debate they can do for the committee, and then what are the effort they will be trying to do in the future. So that's the way how I deal with in the committee. And then talking about like having friends from Model United Nations, I think that's one of the fun part of Moon. And with so I also have a lot of friends from Model United Nations, and yeah, from that way.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Sir, since you have been a prominent organizer in the Nepal circuit, what are the skills that you have developed while organizing so many annuals in Nepal?
So there are a lot of skills that you can develop as an organizer. Like you will learn what you will learn the real meaning of teamwork. You will learn what the transparency is, and then you will learn how to make effort, and you will also learn how to like take your creativity into next level. How you will make the committee, how will you make the committee and the whole moon as a one of the very good and one of the sparkling, stunning Model United Nations of the country. So that's the way. That's are the three things what I have learned from organizing the moons. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you so much, sir. Other sir, I have a question for you. Sir, how did you go from being a delegate to someone as good as an executive board member? Other sir, am I audible?
Yeah. Could you repeat question again? I mean, I was just having
Sure.
some technical interruption.
No problem, sir. Sir, you are a very experienced and a very skilled executive board member. Sir, how did you go from being a delegate to an executive board member? Other sir, am I
Okay.
audible?
So, yeah, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir.
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Hello, sir.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible, sir.
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir.
Okay. So, as I said you earlier, right after doing 10 conferences, I started feeling to do MUN as an executive board member. It would be a new journey. And then, so what happened was, our school was participating in few conferences, and I was the most experienced among the school student. So while doing mock sessions, I used to be executive board member chairperson in my school, because I have seen like how executive board member runs committee. So uh, I used to be the executive board member, I used to be the chair, and I used to actually help my juniors be delegate, and then they would be debating. So there is where I started feeling I can be good as executive board member as well. So when I could see, when I actually learned being chair that way, and then as I said you earlier, then I contacted HYD when they were there for their second conference. Then uh, they promoted me to be executive board member in one of their committee. And yeah, So then I got my chance. I performed well. Right after that, there were a few of other Bangladeshi executive board members. So they called me to their country in Bangladesh. So I did my second MUN as executive board member in Bangladesh. Now coming back to my country again, when people knew I did MUN in Nepal as executive board member, and even in Bangladesh, they started inviting me. So there were few places that was still left to be ticked on, but then right after few MUN conferences as executive board member, I actually got to learn how to perform that particular duty properly. So yeah, it is a process you learn in every single conferences. I still feel I'm not the best. I mean, there are still so many things that I still have to learn. But then yeah, after doing few conferences, when I started knowing people are enjoying me as executive board member, this actually what motivates me to be better every single time. So glad that I started journey as executive board member, and I am enjoying my journey as executive board member still.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. We would be heading to a few comments. The proprietor is saying, "Are Adarshi." Humming Islam sir is saying, "Proud of you, my boys." Others say, "PRATAV KARKI." Thank you, sir. Hafiz Ali is saying, "Hi, Tasnia." Hello, sir. The proprietor sir is asking, "Sir, how to be a good chairperson?" PRATAV KARKI, sir.
Yes.
Uh, Hello, am I audible?
Hello. Yeah. Yes, you are.
Yes, sir. Sir, we have a question from the proprietor, sir. How did MUN shape your life?
Hello. Hello.
Hello, sir. You're audible, sir.
Yes. Yeah. So
Yes, sir.
what?
I'll ask you the question again, sir. The proprietor, sir, is asking, how did MUN shape your life?
So what I will say is like I am an introvert person. Like I really don't open up with people so easily. I even don't in my past I didn't even used to make any friends. Like I just used to have two or three peoples like who used to be my friend. And then what happened was then there was the SDGMUN in SDGMUN, the Sustainable Development Model United Nations. I think in 2016. Then I just grabbed the opportunity and then I enroll as a delegate. So from there, what I learn is the personalities, the personality, your like your skills, your speaking abilities, all those things will matter a lot. So from that particular moon, my first model United Nations, I started like improving my personality. I started like learning how to speak, how to like know with how to like update with the international news and all those things. So so that's the way like how the model United Nation has changed my life. And also adding to that, what I have to say is like uh, is that so when so right now there are a lot of moons going on, a lot of moons. Every school is organizing the moons, and due to this, there may be the lack of quality in the model United Nations, but it does not mean that the one who are like the one who are as a delegate can't get the proper facilities from that moons. But yes, when you are in the moon, you will find that you are the real like the diplomat, the real country representative of that country. From that you will have the inspirations, you will have the motivations to research properly. Other delegate will also help you, and that's the way how the model United Nations will shape you.
Thank you so much, sir. We will be heading back to a few more comments. Mona Lisa Hawk is saying good going. Syed Aman is saying namaste, sir. Uh, Sadiksha Shrestha is saying Adarsha for PM 2040. So, Adarsh sir, we have a question for you.
Yeah,
So,
please.
sir, how to be a good chairperson? We have this question in our comment section. Others, sir? Viewers, please give us a second. We are having a few technical issues. Others, sir? Okay, I think others, sir, is having a few technical difficulties. So, Pratap, sir. So,
Yes.
what advice would you like to give to first-time mothers?
So my advice will be that if you are not able to speak, if you are not able to cope up with the moon, so what you have to do is you there I know a lot of delegates who sat silent for the first moon, and then when they come for the second moon, they just won the best delegate. So there are a lot of people who have won the best delegate in the second moon. So what I have to say is, like, if you want to be the better delegate, you just need to learn with your mistakes, and what kind of things that will improve you is like research, then how to be like diplomatical, how to deal with others, and then how to like properly cope up with all those activities of the model United Nations. That's how you will be the better delegate. And yeah, that's it.
Others, sir, we had a
Mm,
question
okay, okay.
from one of our viewers for you.
Yeah.
Sir, how to be a good chairperson?
Okay. I'm really sorry. I'm having some sorts of technical
No,
problems.
sir,
So,
no
okay.
problem.
So, for being a chairperson, firstly, there are a few things that you should have. I mean, you should have proper knowledge about how MUN works on. You should have proper knowledge about the topic area, the topic given. You should know the mandates of committee, and then you should know ROPs well. So with these sorts of thing and few experience, you are a chairperson. Now, to be a proper chairperson, I would suggest one thing: to keep your expectations very low from delegate. I mean, to not keep any sorts of expectations, not even low, not even high. So when you keep your expectations low, you actually think of every single point. You go on judging every single point that delegates speak up. So you don't have points that you want delegate to speak up. That actually makes you think about every single point that delegates speak up, to mark every single point they have spoken. So in this way, you sit yourself as clueless, and then you uh, start marking every single point of every single delegate. No biased. Do not consider anyone as your friend. There are so many MUNs where even when I do MUNs, there are so many of conferences when my very close friends are doing MN as a delegate. So if I find myself in a problem to judge them, or if I feel I will be biased in some way, what you can do is you can not judge them. You can ask your co-executive board members to judge them. So firstly, you need to try to control that particular thing. But if it does not happen, you can switch on the judgment to co-executive board members. So to be a chairperson, better chairperson, again, coming back. So once you have not kept any sorts of expectation from delegate, you actually think about every single point that they are speaking. Secondly, have proper communication with your co-executive board members. As a chairperson, it is also your role to actually help vice chair and director or moderator to learn, because even you should ensure proper experience to them as well. So when I actually am doing MUNs as chairperson, I give floor maximum times to my vice chairperson. I give them lots of works, because that is the time when they will be learning. So I try to motivate them a lot. My co-executive board members, I try to teach them everything that I have learned throughout. And even to delegates, I go on sharing my experience as delegate. Some of the MUNs where I have seen dynamic delegates, so I actually give them lots of examples in lots of situations. So in this particular situation, right after that situation ends, so there was one MUN when these sorts of situation came, and this particular delegate did this. So this is the way how I actually try to share my experience with my delegates, with my co-executive board members. And yeah, I see it completely expectationless, and then it actually motivates me to think about every single point that they are saying. I mark them. I mark every single thing that delegate speaking, and I judge them in the entire basis. In the criteria, there are few criteria to judge over them. I mean, research, country policy, motions and points, and then discipline. Discipline is also one of the very important thing that as a head of state you should have in a MUN as a delegate. So right, if you know the criteria to judge, if you are if there is nothing that will make you biased, and if you are inspiring delegate as well as your co-executive board member, you are itself a proper chairperson, a very good chairperson.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for sharing with us your views. We would like to go back to a few more comments. Sadiq Shrestha is saying that I will be president. Hamid Islam is saying that Adarsh Dev and Syed Aman will form a new political party for Nepal. So,
Okay, so there was one question that Sedaman raised basically. Can you go through it?
sir, well, I couldn't hear you, sir.
There are questions. There is one question that Sedaman raised. Can you go through it? What was the question?
Yes, sir, I am going through it. Syed Aman sir is saying that Adarsh sir being an expert in matters of national politics in Nepal, what do you think about the current situation and handling of the situation by the ruling government?
Okay. Okay, can I answer this question?
Sure, sir, please do.
Okay, so it's completely related to coronavirus, the current situation he is asking me about. So if I have to talk about how our country addressed it, I am happy at the same time sad with the government. Obviously, there are many things that government should have done. However, in one particular context, that we imposed lockdown very soon. I mean, we only had one case and we imposed lockdown in country. So government imposed lockdown in country, which is actually helping a lot to keep spread to minimum. So in that particular way, government did a very good job. Immediately, lots of help was brought upon, lots of funds were allocated. I mean, they brought up, they rescued citizens, our citizens from China. So in many ways, things were good. However, there is one problem in our country, which is unawareness, or let's say illiteracy. uh, Being educated but still illiterate. So due to negligence of peoples, uh, we now already have 82 cases, 82, I think 82 or more. So this is, there are negligence of citizens as well, because they were hiding themselves, they did not came up came out by themselves. So there are few mistakes that citizens have made. Government also have made few mistakes. The borders that we share with India, it should have been properly monitored, which was not done. Proper distribution of rations. I mean, there are so many poor people who are not in their home, who are facing problems, daily wage workers. So proper and transparent distributions of rations should have done. There are few places where government lacks. However, we have been successful in one thing, is to keep spread of virus to a minimum, which is just because of quick lockdown imposed by government.
Thank you so much, sir, Adarsh sir, and Pratap sir for your views. We have actually a lot to learn from both of your experiences, and it is really nice to have the both of you here. I'm sure our viewers and most importantly the first timers and those who are new to MUNs have have got a lot of new suggestions, and I think they will put this to use if they join MUNs. So, sir, thank you so much for being here. It was really an honor to have you here. And audiences, with that, we would like to end our today's episode. We will come again with someone new, with something new, and with many more hacks to help all of you out. Signing out from House of Youth Dialogue. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.